Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and Netmarble has done it again, of course, running with the Ni No Kuni IP. A lot of people are talking about and upset right now that, NFTs and blockchain are going to be involved in the Ni No Kuni mobile game. And this has been public knowledge for a while, but it's just kind of gaining traction in the community. We're going to go ahead and talk about this, talk about what this looks like for potentially the gameplay in terms of how it's been implemented in other games. And we're going to talk about whether I think it's a good thing or a bad thing. So let's go ahead and dig in. So I should start off by saying I am no expert on this. And I think because I'm no expert on this, I fall into a very similar category that a lot of all of you fall into, where I'm both hopeful and excited for the potential that this might bring to the game, but I'm also a little scared. And part of the reason I'm a little bit scared is I don't know a lot about this. And for me, whenever a corporation tries to get me to do something that I don't know a lot about, I wonder quite often what's in it for them, and am I being kind of used in a way? Am I being deceived in any type of way? And I wonder that, and we'll talk about that as we're going through this. Is there a deception happening here? Is there something that is just maybe a little bit unethical? I'm not sure, but to start off, a really good place to start if you do want to check this out is the Ni No Kuni thread in Gotcha Gaming. If you guys have been to that Reddit thread, Jakad made this post, and of course a lot of what Jakad talks about here and links is the concern that this feature of the Ni No Kuni mobile game is not being made really publicly aware. It's of course been in the public ethos for a long time. It's been posted on the Marblex webpage, which Marblex is the cryptocurrency that this is being dealt with. But it isn't something where they're being forthright about it. They aren't showing really how it works. And I think that's really problematic. I think, Netmarble has a lot of problems in general with how they've been running their games. Most recently I made a video about Seven Nights 2, and I kind of highlighted, how to kill a gacha game within 24 hours in a single update. And Netmarble is pretty notorious for this type of behavior. So I wanted to research this a little bit more just because I am relatively uninformed. So let's go ahead and go through what I've kind of found out and, how I'm feeling and thinking about this type of stuff. So, of course, the first thing I did was I went to Netmarble's own webpage, and of course they have a great detail, a timeline, and one of the games that's still out right now, A3 Still Alive, does actually have cryptocurrency farming in it. And interestingly, it's implemented in a way that I think is actually really positive. I couldn't find any negative responses to it online. I tried scouring their Reddit, tried looking around, but when I kind of found out what they were doing, basically what they did is they created the game, and then they kind of put the current cryptocurrency in the game after the game had already been created and successful. So it wasn't a launch type situation. It wasn't a situation where the game was developed with the cryptocurrency in mind, as far as we can tell. Instead, they released a dungeon post-development that was able to be grinding cryptocurrency, essentially. And this was pretty interesting to me. I think if there is ever going to be some type of cryptocurrency involved in mobile games, this is probably the way to do it. And a lot of people have tried to convince me that, because of the laws, Netmarble can't design the game around the cryptocurrency because South Korea has really tight cryptocurrency laws. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, if you're in the business world and this is something that's like potentially going to make you a lot of money, you are going to keep that in mind. And so when I'm looking at Ni No Kuni, when I'm looking at kind of this idea of Marblex, I really wonder if it's already affecting how the game is developed. Now, you can go to their official page, and there's not much interesting until you go to the white paper on Marblex, which we'll go see in a second here. But you can see Ni No Kuni is, of course, on here, and Ni No Kuni is probably the biggest opportunity for them to make any type of money with this cryptocurrency. They have something called Meta World, which is just, I know nothing about the metaverse and anything like that, but I mean, I don't know if it spells good news for all of us. But before we look at kind of what this currency is and how it functions, I looked up the price of the cryptocurrency, and it doesn't look that good. So what we're looking at is trading over the course of the entire cryptocurrency's life here. You can see that there is, you know, relatively a pretty big downward trend. It goes quite significantly down, and you know, that's not good. This is after, you know, A3 had launched and they had launched their cryptocurrency as well, and it just keeps going down. And I'm wondering right now, you know, you're seeing this little boost here, and I'm wondering if this is just from the Ni No Kuni, you know, hype. Is Ni No Kuni actually going to be the thing that drives this cryptocurrency? Is that going to be really the sole game that they're relying on to drive this up? Seems like a bad idea to me. The other thing I'm wondering is who's invested in this cryptocurrency to go up, and are we being used almost like some type of like mining tools to drive the currency up to make some people money, right? What's the stability on this? What is the, you know, what is the way that things are going to be fair, or how, like, I don't quite understand why I would mine for this instead of just investing in this. It just seems very awkward to me. And it seems like they're trying to abuse their position of having millions of gamers playing their game, right? To all of a sudden have millions of people mine a specific cryptocurrency to drive up the price so that they can make a lot of money. That's kind of how I feel looking at this right now. And I don't know, again, I'm not a cryptocurrency expert, but I really wonder if there is some ethical boundaries that are going to be pushed here, because it doesn't, like, there's something that doesn't sit right with me here. And I don't know what it quite is, but my gut is leaning in right now and it's telling me there's something wrong here. And, you know, when I go further in, as we look at kind of the white paper, they call it, or kind of the breakdown of kind of what Marblex is and what they do, they talk about the growth of the mobile gaming market. This is really going to be designed to like sell you if you're going through this. As I was reading about it, it basically, you know, this looked like they're trying to sell to investors that no matter what, their cryptocurrency is going to go up. You know, there's going to be, you know, completely neutral almost, like they're not going to, Marblex is not going to be influencing on game content, which I think is a lie. I think it will, by the fact that this exists and this has been created, I think there is an undoubted connection that it will impact game development. Interestingly, they see it as providing a service, and I really question if like providing MBX as a service or Marblex as a service in the game is actually a service. I feel like they're trying to sell it that they're giving us something, they're giving us an advantage, right? And I really wonder if that's the case. Again, it feels like we're being manipulated in some way that, you know, unless you have a really extensive understanding of maybe how the market works or how, you know, NFTs kind of factor into this as well, and blockchain, right? It feels like we're being manipulated in a way. And while NFTs haven't been confirmed yet, they do talk about them down here. So they do have a multi-chain structure where there's going to be a bridge token and then a public token. And then you may have like game token A NFTs. So they have it broken down. They have, you know, a whole bunch of different kind of routes and applications. And it just seems really complex. And it seems like it would be easy to abuse and for easy to have users be taken advantage of. Interesting as well, you have another example here of kind of the token ecosystem where you have in-game asset A is connected to game token A, is connected to the MBXL token, is connected to the MBX token. It's very interesting. I I really don't necessarily see how this is going to make the game a better experience for players. And I think by not being as forthright as they are right now about Marblex and about how it's going to function in the game, or how it's going to benefit players, I think it's really going to hurt them more than it's going to help them. And I really think they need to kind of come forward and say, no, we're going to do this. Like if you're going to roll out something like this, roll it out in a very, roll it out in a way that people can understand as something that's helping them. And I think they're trying to do that. I think Netmarble is trying to say, you know, this is a service that we're going to provide to you. And this is a service that's going to be helpful for you, right? But they're really bad at selling it. Like, I don't know what I'm getting into still. I am a consumer. I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a whale, right? Why would I care about this? What is this bringing to the game? What is this doing to either enhance the game or, you know, go into the game? So, like, if I buy, for example, only into, say, maybe the blockchain or the NFT side, how does the company make money from that, right? It's interesting to me because it's almost like they say there's, you know, this non-relationship between the game company and the blockchain company or Marblex or whatever you want to call it. But it's very clear to me that there is some type of financial relationship there that is going to have to exist, right? Because you're going to be giving in-game goods essentially for, you know, whatever this cryptocurrency is. So just very weird, very awkward. I could probably, you know, read a lot more about this and become a lot more educated, but I just, you know, as a general consumer myself, as someone who, you know, is looking at this and trying to understand what the benefits are and who's benefiting, it doesn't seem like the player benefits at all from this. Even right here, you can see, you know, the distribution plan. And it's interesting to me that 75% of the ecosystem and community is basically going to be from the, well, 75% of like the mining and the coins seem to be coming from the ecosystem and the community. And then it says 5% is from marketing, 10% from token sales, 10% from a team. I just don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why this needs to be in the game. Like, make it simple for me. Make me understand, you know, why this is important. And, you know, they just don't do that. And the fact that they're not talking about it is, I agree, a little bit concerning, because you would think with a popular IP and with a system that they clearly think is going to work, they would try and talk about it, right? And they just haven't been. So let me know what you guys think down below. This is a pretty hot topic. And again, I am not an expert. I don't know how many times I can say that in this video, but I don't have to be an expert to tell you how I feel. And how I feel is that something is going on here that is taking advantage of me, the consumer of this game. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.